and welcome to a pretty rare commentary edition of Rexit Night Gaming. I'm here with my old standby game, of course, Rocket League. I'm deciding to comment on this episode in particular, one, because I've actually got a little bit of time to do so, and number two, because this was actually a really well-balanced and well-fought game with both teams. Basically, this is going to be my chance to finally talk a little bit about the strategical points of playing Rocket League, especially in a random group like I am right now. I generally play my games on the solo standard queue, which basically means people are joining by themselves and you get put together in random 3v3 teams. But basically the primary key to doing well in this type of game mode, especially, is your rotations and your positioning. I'll get into that a little bit, but essentially you want to keep things as absolutely basic as possible, just because in all likelihood you've probably played maybe one or two games with these individual players, if that. And with the specific team makeup, you've probably never played with this team before, because after every match things get shoveled up and you get sent to new servers, unlike the more casual game modes. But yeah, basically, as I said, positioning and rotations are key to this mode. You always need to be in a good defensive or offensive position, depending on basically what you're, whether you're on offense or defense, obviously. But in general, I would say that when you're going on offense especially, and defense to a sort of a different extent, is that you basically want to be in 3 different levels. And by levels, I mean, like sort of distance away from the goal. Basically, you're going to want one guy always attacking the ball, one guy sort of behind him on support, which is what Par did right there. And you're going to want your third guy sort of in the middle and kind of a defensive position, maybe at about midfield or so, a little bit forward, a little bit behind, depending on where the exact ball is. But his goal is basically to try to, A, prevent easy goals going the other way, and B, put in the easy shots that are just sitting right in front of the goal and just basically need to be tapped in. Kind of like this one here, but there was no one on blue to pull it off for him. And so I was able to sort of knock it a little bit out of the way of the goal, and then Par knocked it off to the side for me. So that's what you would want to do on offense. But this is really more of a defensive game, so for the rest of the time I'm going to try to focus on that. But instead of 3 different levels, you really want 2 levels, but you still want everyone to have their own individual space. You're going to still want one guy attacking the ball, and still one guy behind him. But that second guy behind him is going to probably be on the near side of the post to the ball, depending on where it is. Or if it's further back, it would be like those 2 guys are right now. One up on the ball and one more back in the corner. While the third guy will either be on the far post of the goal, if there's if the support is on the front side, or in the middle, like I was doing for the last 20 seconds or so right there, just sort of sitting there waiting for my chance to either come up and make a defensive play or join the offense. Because what happens a lot of times, especially, is that either people will just completely forget to rotate. They'll just be all up on the ball and never get back in defensive positioning, so the team gets completely screwed up and you've got no defensive presence like is necessary here. So when I make that save, it's because I saw my other 2 guys coming forward, and it's my responsibility to get back. And I did that, so it was an easy save. I was already there and didn't really have to rush. But that's the advantage of just keeping things simple and just making sure you're always in the right position, is that you've always got some kind of backup. And like, I missed my shot after he missed his, but just because he didn't go too far, he was there to able to actually back me up, even though I was supposed to back him up. So this is it's a game a lot about a feel, and you definitely have to rotate. And like me, I was the last line of defense right there. My 2 guys were in the corner, but I was there to step up and knock the ball out. And again, I see my 2 guys are coming forward, so I'm rushing back, and I'm able to make this defensive play, which slows them down just enough. And you can see their goalie kind of cheating up, which burns them right here because he's not in position to make that save. So just because I was in good position and made that stop there off the wall and stopped their flow forward, It completely wrecked them because the goalie left too early. If he had waited until the ball had gotten to the corner, they would have actually been able to make that save, and we'd be going into overtime right now. But he cheated. Cheated forward, not cheated the game. But that cost his team a goal, and in this game, because it was so close and so perfectly played, it cost him the game. So that just shows you that how important that positioning is, especially. So the video's about over here. I'll probably talk about things more in a different video, but that's a pretty good start. So I will catch you all later.